Unlike Joe Biden, House Republicans stand with Israel, and we will vote on the Israel Security Supplemental Appropriations Act, a standalone $17.6 billion package which will provide life-saving funding and resources to stand with Israel.
Today, Biden is spending billions to help Ukraine. We have begun to help the really needy country of Israel. House Republicans voted in favor of a new package of really important resources to Israel. Republicans have long opposed Biden and prevented him from continuing his corrupt system. On December 14th, the Republican-controlled U.S. House of Representatives voted in favor of further investigation to declare the impeachment of Joe Biden. 221 members of the legislature voted in favor of the resolution. 212 voted against. The president himself claims that the Republicans' investigation is a baseless political stunt. What will he say now? Will he go against them again, or will he just step aside?
Here at home, Joe Biden's weakness and open border policies have left our borders wide open. Millions of illegal immigrants have invaded our country due to Joe Biden's open border executive actions. And while Joe Biden and extreme Democrats push non-starter legislation that will only worsen the crisis at our border, House Republicans have already passed H.R. 2, the strongest border package ever. And this week we will vote to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for his willful and systemic refusal to enforce our immigration laws and breach of public trust.
We all know how Biden trashed our borders and opened the door to hundreds of thousands of migrants. They are everywhere and there is no stopping them. H.R. 2 would limit the Department of Homeland Security's DHS ability to grant parole to aliens, non-U.S. citizens, that allows them to temporarily enter the United States, including by defining the reasons for which parole may be granted. The bill would also change how DHS handles aliens applying for asylum and unaccompanied alien children crossing the border. This is a strong bill that apparently only Republicans have released.
That is not what we got. We got a supplemental funding proposal with immigration provisions. It's not a border security bill. It doesn't do anything of the sort. In fact, in our view, after a careful, thoughtful review of this, we believe that if those provisions were to make law, it might actually make the situation worse. Let me give you a couple citations. There's just a few of our countless concerns with the bill and the form that it was sent to us. On page 321, for example, the bill expands work authorizations for illegal aliens, threatens American workers' wages, and also acts as another magnet for illegal immigration. It's a pull factor.
It makes for an interesting picture. We take in all the illegals in our country, give them credit cards, feed them, and now we are going to call them to work for nothing. That's the American meshat for everyone. Ha ha. That's ridiculous. No, really, this all just brings a smile to my face and a laugh. As strange as it sounds, it's true. Our government is calling migrants to work for nothing, so they don't just sit around. The Biden administration never ceases to amaze.
On page 116 of the bill, it endorses the Biden administration's catch and release policy, endorses it, by allowing illegals to be, quote, released from physical custody, unquote. Instead of deciding, asylum on a case-by-case basis, as the law specifically states currently, what they would do is just engage in more of these large-scale releases. The shutdown authority in the bill, you've heard some things said about that, but it's riddled with loopholes. You might not have heard that part. It gives Secretary Mayorkas, who is, of course, one of the chief architects of the catastrophe that we're all dealing with.
We heard a familiar last name. This man is indeed the main cause of the current tragedy. The Democrats are trying to make the worst of it. Why waste jobs for nothing? Why can't we provide jobs for our citizens? Why can't we work in peace and live danger-free? Our children should not have to face people who can beat up men, women, and even police officers.
And I don't want to belabor the point every day and repeat the statistics over and over and over, but you all know it well. We've had over 7 million encounters at the border since President Biden took office. We've got over 2 million known gotaways. We've got over 300 people who are suspects on the terrorism watch list. They're all in the country. But the scary thing is we don't know who is in the country who came in completely undetected. We don't know how many people snuck over that border, but we know it's a large, large number. And among that number, we don't know how many of them have ill design for our country.
Since Joe Biden took office as President of the United States, about 3.8 million migrants have arrived in the country, and almost half of them entered illegally and are still on American territory, while the number of new arrivals continues to grow every day. Among them are terrorists, and President Trump has always warned that the borders should be closed because people who enter our country pose a huge danger, not only to the government, but first of all to ordinary Americans. Friends, what do you think about this? Write your opinion in the comments and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.